game we're gonna go. Our only Group 3 game is a TVP, a Ted v Ped versus Gusto and Shimmer from the Rev Clan. This cast is the greatest thing to happen to StarCraft. All my losses in Group 4 will be revealed to the world. Gulp PVT. Let's turn on back to our overlay cast stream and get it going. Hold on, let me cancel out this Discord notification so that I know if my if somebody actually messaged me something important. We'll get it. Okay. Shimmer versus Gusto in a TVP. In the top right corner, we have Gusto representing the red Terran squad. Holy shit, was that like 3 SCVs mining on the same patch? That's very funny. And the bottom left we have Shimmer as the hot pink Protoss. Big fan of alliteration. Yeah. Again, I'm gonna shield this at the top of every cast. Remember, if a hype moment happens, clip it, post it in the CPL clips channel, and that shit it helps out everyone. Helps out this channel. What's up, Baskia? First time chat. Welcome to fucking the stream, bud. Week 1 Group 3 had more games, which would have been better to cast, but Week 2 Group 3, Group 4, whatever group we're in, had less games, and so I was able to fit it into a much... Scimo, will you cast my games from Week 1? Yes! Next week I am probably going to cast Group 1 games to catch up a lot of the Group 1 stuff, because we cast so much of Group 2. This SC, how much do you want to bet this SCV is going to get this pylon down to just its health? This SCV is going to do whole damage. I believe in it. Never mind. Never mind, I don't believe in it. This SCV, he's scared. He's a chicken. He's a coward. He's a fraud. Okay. Gusto, meanwhile, building their barracks. Stop. I almost saw a Cybercore sniped by an SCV in another game. Listen, SCVs are the scariest thing in early PvT because you just oh, it's an SCV, who the fuck cares about it? And then your Cybercore's nearly dead. It's crazy. Gusto retreating back across the map. Shimmer Rev going to scout. We got Marines, we got gas, and so we should see the factory come up pretty soon, and we should see maybe a 2-fac or a 1 base expand, 1 fac expand. Lots of things going on. Yeah, I gotta say, every time a fucking Terran is like, oh man, SCVs, and by Terran I mean Artosis, is like, oh, SCVs are the worst worker in the game, they don't do anything they tell you. It's like, what? What are you talking? They have 40 HP, they can repair themselves, they can repair your buildings. What are you talking about? They have 6, they are so good. What other race has viable strategies where you can just pull half your mineral line and like they can body block for your entire army and dish out like serious damage? I'm like, what are the alternative names for the SCVs? The skeevies. The boys. Listen. 10-15. Just wait. What are we waiting for? What's going on? Alright, we have 2-gate goon. Okay. No robos or anything yet. Bit of a supply block, but that's fixed. Anyone got a single positive nickname for the probe/drone? DT. Probe comes in, probe dies. Factory's coming up. And now we have 3 goons coming across the map, 2 more in production. Wow, this is just solid goon production, right? Probu Buddy on Bisu Corsair DT tutorial engine. Okay. Again, I need to pay more time. Okay. Oh no, Gusto's going for vultures and mines. And the bunker is like on this weird fucking corner here. Like, this is eminently breakable. You just can get the like dragoons behind here and bust this. Like, and if Gusto isn't pulling SCVs to repair this bunker, right? So the vulture does get out, and the vulture will get killed by like, because there's constant dragoon production. Yeah, see, like this blocks a vulture and kills it, right? And now, see, okay, Shimmer having to get their tank, but the siege mode is going to be delayed. And if the bunker dies, like, this just loses. How many Marines in bunkers? 4 Marines in bunkers. See, and he didn't pull the SCV, so yeah, this game is, that's how you lose. Well, no, with the mines, there's no observers. So we could see the mine defusals from Shimmer. We could see if these dragoons... Let's go, let's go, let's go, Shimmer. Let's go, let's do it. Have you been practicing? He has not. Yeah. But there's 2 more dragoons reinforcing, and that is a lot of Protoss just microing over. And again, I feel like you just need to keep building vultures and get like a second factory. This is crazy. Well, with two tanks, he still needs siege mode. As soon as he hits 150 gas, that needs to be a siege mode started immediately. And tanks kind of can fight dragoons if you have like good numbers. Siege mode, siege mode, siege mode, siege mode. Unironically, the mine defuse map is so good. Is it the one? Are we talking about the same one where you start with like, I think it's 5 dragoons and it's like all the different pathways that lead to like progressively harder mine patterns? I used to like, oh shit. Yeah, okay, this is the game. 4 dragoons in the main, only 2 tanks. See, you needed to pull the SCVs to be repairing the siege tanks, and then you can fight these. Or pull the SCVs to fight the dragoons, because again, dragoons are really bad against SCVs, and SCVs are broken. So like, he's pulling the SCVs, right? And this is like what you do. And honestly, that's how you stay in the game. You just pull the SCVs. Now, meanwhile, behind this, Shimmer's getting ready to expand, right? And I don't think this attack is going to work. Siege tank up on the high ground. The thing is over. So, yeah. And here's the thing, right? Behind this, what is Shimmer's position? They only have 3 more workers than their opponent. That's not crazy. Their opponent has had their expansion up for a lot longer than they have, and they have gotten into observer tech. So we can transition into a normal... Thank you. So we can transition into a normal, like, PvT kind of thing here, but, never mind, that's a lot of dragoons. No, this doesn't work, right? You have 2 siege tanks and the bunker is body blocking again. Like, you can dive in and pick off tanks, but you're gonna lose all of this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Shimmer. Shimmer? I see in the chat you said you're here for feedback. Don't do this. What the fuck? Wait, how does he kill every single tank? What? Never mind, Shimmer, you're good to go. Ignore me. What? Are all those dragoons worth it to kill every single Terran tank? Okay? Like, I kind of think it is. Is every single dragoon there good enough to kill the tank? On one factory production? Yes. I think so. 2 goons per tank, so no, that was not good. Okay, that's fair. You can totally be ahead way on. Okay. Again, stop reading chat. Let's focus on what's actually happening. I mean, again, Gusto is kind of gonna have to slowly replace their getting fucking. Where is it? Why are they getting marine range? That's so. Well, they don't have tanks, so they do need this bunker to live, but they only have 1 SCV repairing, so the bunker is it's not gonna live. Which is bad, but we have a tank replaced on the high ground to kind of again body block. Shimmer getting their expansion up, still not saturated, but they're 13 workers ahead. So like, so being 13 workers ahead is pretty good. So Shimmer is doing great. Shimmer is pretty far ahead in this scenario, but the problem is that like Gusto has their 2 bases. They're stabilizing, and so Gusto should in the short term. Oh, that's a huge probe pull. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, Shimmer's now like definitively like ahead of definitively ahead of the Terran here. Oh my god, and they're getting shuttles. Shuttles are great. Shuttles and Citadel of a Dune. There's no, well, there's ComSat stations coming up because of the Academy. Yeah. Alright. And then it looks like Gusto is going to be going in and doing like dropship stuff. Is this another move in by Shimmer? It's a poke. You can do pokes. Pokes are okay. These vultures are looking for this exact probe line, and they kind of have a clear shot to it. Yeah, they're diving right to it, and there's nothing here to defend. There's a couple of zealots that just spawned. This is going to be painful. It's going to be very painful. 3 kills, 1 kill, 3 kills, 1 kill, 3 kills. Yeah, 6 kills on one of them, 5 on the other. Yeah, that is a lot. That is a huge reset. And now Shimmer is like back down to only being 5. Oh, hold on. Is only being 5 workers ahead. Mines are getting laid in the base of Shimmer, so they also have to wait for and on the outside. And their observers rallying to their forward goons. So it's going to be like until this next observer pops that they're really going to be able to defuse this, but even then only 1 Dragoon is available to actually like bust through here, right? Yeah, that's not good. But Shimmer getting their 3rd base up, which is huge. Gusto meanwhile, ooh, we got the drop in the main. We have the Bulldog bust. Zealots dropping on top of these tanks are going to do serious damage. Yes, and then the Dragoons bust the front. This is such, I love, I started doing this recently. It's a lot of fun because now the tanks unsiege to fight the Zealots and then the Dragoons hit the bunker. Unfortunately, there was just enough like Vultures and Marines here to kind of break the Zealots, but you lose 3 Dragoons. I think they got 1 tank for the drop and a bunker. Alright, and the Vultures in the main are finally getting cleared out. What the man? Vultures do take a while to kill buildings, but they do eventually get there. Meanwhile, Shimmer, again, has been back on that pro production. They're 9 apart. Yeah. Shuttle just hanging out. He's doing his best observer impersonation. Yeah. Shimmer in a pretty good position still, right? They lost basically almost every probe at their natural, but they have 2 bases. They still are 13 probes ahead. And I mean, they still have the Terran contained, right? The Terran hasn't started pushing across the map, and so the Protoss can just keep buying time and keep building up their army and teching up into that more late game stuff. Mixing Dark Templar in is I always enjoy. I like that because it does tax the Terran's comsat stations. In a pinch, DTs can be put at bases to be like denial bait, essentially, so that the Terran can't just send an SCV out and try and take a base for free. We have a comsat in the main. We have EMP Shockwave being researched. Vessels, Goliaths on the way. Attack weapons and the gateway count exploding here for Shimmer. And we have the probe transfer going to the third. Cannons getting set up to help prevent the Vulture run-bys. But we have 2 dropships full of mech. Oh shit. Moving across the map. And a drop here at the third will get deadly. So I think Shimmer just needs to kind of keep tabs on it. You kind of have to always keep in your mind that the Terran can drop, and it's something that I struggle with too. It's just so hard to like keep on track of like making sure the Terran doesn't get the bust out of here for free, but then also keeping the side lanes like analyzed and ready. And so the thing is, right, we have 2 DTs and a shuttle, but science vessels are out. So the tanks are going to drop in siege, and that is absolutely going to shred this mineral line. We don't have the pro pull yet. And I think if Shimmer doesn't do the pro pull to their natural here soon, they are losing a ton of workers here. Now, unfortunately, this SimCity here is actually working against them. And again, I think you just need to pull the probes and let this base die, because you don't have what you need to defend this thing. Now, here's the thing, right? This base dying, still 6 workers ahead. But Shimmer is quickly running out of mining bases. They're only on this one, and they maybe needed a second expansion here or in the bottom corner. Yeah, because again, this base is just unfortunately going to fall. We really need to see more photon cannons up ahead of time, but yeah, this is a tilting moment. I 100% agree. And the dropships kind of get away for free, and meanwhile, like, so much of Shimmer's army is just, again, I think you could just give up on this base. Like, don't even try to do this, just let them have it, cancel this upgrade, and then just take bottom here. Or, no, they're taking their 4th here, and see, oh, they tried to dive in to get an attack on the front. The spider drags were okay, but again, like, this whole army at the front died kind of for free because we didn't pull back, and again, that is just unfortunate. Now these Dragoons are going to take a really awful like trade here because they're fighting up the hill into a tank. Well, I think they lost maybe 2 Dragoons that did this, but they lost so many pylons just to kind of really only save a forge. Yeah, and now Gusto's going to move out. Let's check upgrades, because Gusto's coming up on 1-1, and Shimmer is kind of moving out with a split force, and that is not going to be good enough. These tanks are going to siege up, and then no matter where these Dragoons are coming from, there's no Zealots here to buffer, right? Because at this point in the game, you need Zealots to buffer for your Dragoons. And really, it is the play of what Protoss needs to do at this point is just kind of threaten to take a fight so that the Terran has to keep sieging and unsieging. And just buy time for the rest of the rallies, right? We have Zealots out now. And so, you know, we threaten. They're sieging up a tank here, sieging up a few more tanks, and you just need to pull back and, well, actually, hold on. Can you take this fight? You kind of can. Zealots and Dragoons getting on top of the tanks. Again, losing a lot of Dragoons here, but every single tank here is going to die. And we only have 2 possible factories that can build tanks back at Gusto's base. So the tank count, for all intents and purposes, has been reset. Hey, Escalade, how's it going? So, Shimmer here. Again, like, they keep taking these massive economic damages, but because they are, like, taking okay fights when it matters, and when they are kind of, and their macro has just been ahead of their opponent constantly throughout the game. They're back up to being over 20 workers ahead of the opponent. Shimmer just has to stay on the other side of the map. If they can deny this 3rd base, that would be huge. That would essentially win them the game. But it's not, like, insanely important. Like, you can just keep the Terran, take the arc here, hold the arc here and just try and hold this massive arc. But setting up units in the meantime, Zealots just run in a move on the command center. Yeah, seeing they're gonna have to cancel and lift and just denying this third base. Like, Shimmer's doing a great job here, staying in the game. Alright, but they don't want to take this fight. They don't have... See, and the Goliaths are insane. At this point, Goliaths are such a fucking weird unit. Because it feels like Zealots should be able to get on top of them and tear them apart. It feels like the Dragoons should be able to, like, 1v1 fight them because Goliaths take full damage. But it just doesn't work like that, and it's just kind of, like... It's god-awful, like, seeing, like, huge amounts of Goliaths just tear through Protoss armies. Like, late game, especially once the the upgrades start kicking in, you kind of have to get Storm to deal with Mass Goliath. It's a really weird balance there. Or it's like a really weird interaction there. Now again, Shimmer doesn't, and they have 61 workers, they have 3 bases saturated, so their income is kicking it. They're unfortunately supply blocked around at the 130. Yeah, and again, Terran taking this third base is kind of okay, right? Shimmer just has to keep them off of, like, getting further out on the map. And they're doing a pretty good job of doing that so far. I would say the biggest issue right now for Shimmer is that they're in Protoss Zealot Man mode, which is a mode where when a Protoss gets tilted enough, without fail, in every game, if you see, like, if you just start seeing Zealots being made, and only, like, a huge amount of Zealots being made, that's the indicator that the Protoss is, like, in tilted Protoss Zealot Man mode. See, like, 2 more Zealots in production, when, like, you have enough Zealots, it's just you need way more Dragoons to supplement your army. But we're getting an Arbiter tech, and here's the push from Gusto. And they're coming across the long way here. And again, we don't have Templars, we don't really have a nice Dragoon count here, so this push is looking really threatening. If, oh, fuck, dude, 70 probes, that is so much. And honestly, the issue might be that we only have 4 or 5 gateways back at home. So Shimmer could take this fight with their economy. They could take this fight, remax, and then take the fight again and win. Someone in the chat saying too few gas, and it does seem to be that way. Their 3rd and their 4th don't have any gas. But again, see, they took that fight, they lost all their Dragoons, but they're remaxing on Zealots, and they leave the game. That was not a lost game. So, I just want to rewind a little bit here. So there definitely is an aspect of tilt here, right? Because Terran Mech got into the mineral line twice, and that's pretty crazy. But, so mentally, it is so hard to have both of those things happen and then feel like you are, like, in an okay position, right? Because the probe macro was great. The unit production was pretty good. We stayed 30 supply ahead of the Terran for most of the game, and that's pretty good. And all the engagements were fine. There was a couple thrown engagements where the army was thrown away, but again, yeah, I don't know. I won't dwell on it too hard, but basically, throw down a shitload of extra gateways. Get High Templar for Storm. Storm is nuts. It's a fucking busted ability, and when you get into a position, so the metric, and this is a really good metric to this is a really good metric to be like, what unit composition do you get? Right, at this point we have less than a control group of Dragoons. And so as Protoss, you don't want you don't want to be building zealots until you have at least more than like a control group and a half of dragoons. The hard rule usually is 2 full control groups of dragoons is a healthy Protoss army, and then you just mass zealots. But right, like at this point, 4 zealots in production, you have the gas for dragoons. And again, this is it's easy to say that watching the game. And I think people in chat are giving pretty reasonable advice and saying, hey, this is what's going on. But when you're actually in game, I clicked on the wrong splash screen. When you're actually in game and you've lost your mineral line twice, it's really easy to like kind of start seeing red, and it doesn't like you can't assess the game properly. But Gusto will take that game 1-0 in Shimmer.